Well, let's bring in Democratic strategist Calvin Dark. Mr. Dark, thank you very much for joining us here on the programme. I guess my question is, was this ultimately inevitable?
Hi, good to be here. Yes, it was inevitable for two reasons. One is we know that there is a Justice Department policy that they can't pursue or prosecute a sitting president, which Donald Trump will be after January the 20th. And we also know that Donald Trump has already said that that would be among the first things that his attorney general would be ending this case. So I think the special prosecutor did what was inevitable, and he did it in a way where he can do it on his own terms. I do think it's really important to just point out when you were reading the statement from the Trump campaign about, uniting Americans. I don't know if this is an American English thing or a British English thing, but uniting doesn't mean, from their point of view, uniting Americans. It means uniting those who support Donald Trump against its enemies, including those in this country. He talked about, this being a victory for the rule of law. This isn't about Donald Trump. I honestly couldn't care less about the legal situation of an 80-year-old, but I do care about the fact that going forward, it's going to appear to many Americans that the justice system is fair when your party's in power. And when the opposing party's in power, then it's all a witch hunt. And I think that's a horrible precedent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to get to that. I mean, the sort of precedence that this sets, it also sends a message that, if you win office, then all of these sorts of accusations and cases can just disappear.
You're right. And, a lot of, particularly on the Trump side, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, something to that effect that, now we're going to end the politicization of the justice system. But this is actually the politicization of the justice system. The reason we have a system is so that politics doesn't make decisions about criminal behavior. And just because someone wins an election, that doesn't change what they may or may not have done. And I don't think that I understand that it's an unprecedented situation. And yes, the American people, we have to do some reflecting on why we would elect someone who was in that particular legal predicament. But the justice system shouldn't be bent one way or the other by politics. And unfortunately, I think that's what we've seen today.
And that's the point, right? That you're also trying to make here is that it's not just about it being sort of weaponized or politicized, but the fact is that the justice system perhaps has failed in a massive way as well. Because, Donald Trump has described this as a witch hunt, frankly, since 2020. And for his supporters, this now proves him right.
Well, and one thing I would love to ask President-elect Trump is, when we talk about this, when he talks about it, he always talks about it in terms of, they're coming after me. Now this is ending the weaponization. Yeah. But here's my hypothetical. What if President Biden actually did commit a crime now? And after Trump is president, President Biden really does need to be prosecuted and convicted. Do you think half this country is going to allow that? No. They're not, regardless of whatever he might be guilty of, because we've set that precedent now. And so I think that for the long term, this isn't good for the U.S. justice system as much as it might be great for President-elect Donald Trump.
Calvin Dark, thank you very much for joining us here on the programme.
Thank you.